If there are no other questions,
Madam Chair.
I recognize Minister Seymour, then Minister Bryan.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I too want to congratulate publicly Commissioner Walton on the same matter in terms of use of our public airwaves and communicating to our public, inciting the public, and at a time when the country needs to be uplifted. There's a lot of profanity. I've sent you some communications and some recordings of some of this profanity. I've seen other persons in the public being questioned, arrested, and charges pending, etc. And I want to know that the same rule is applied to everyone in the Cayman Islands, whether it was me or anyone else. And I want to know if the information that I sent is being investigated, or if it's been or if it's not being investigated.
Commissioner Walton.
Through you, Madam Chair, just yes, I'm aware of a number of correspondence from various members of the community. What I will say is, yes, I have taken all of those. I have assigned those to a particular investigator, and we have had a dialogue, or we've had dialogue with the Director of Public Prosecution Office. Just on the issue around the law is impartial, so it doesn't matter as long as the law has been broken. We will take that and have a full investigation. There are times when what has been said across IT platforms are not constituted or hasn't passed that threshold of criminality, which make it sometimes difficult. So it's why I mentioned that it has to pass that threshold of criminality, whatever that criminality may be, whether it's the misuse of the ICT platform or whether it's causing annoyance or abuse and threats. But the point is, as long as it makes the threshold or pass the threshold of criminality, then we certainly would fully investigate. All correspondence that's been sent to me has been assigned and being investigated.
Madam Chair.
Minister Seymour.
I want to thank the Commissioner for that, because I don't think that we should have persons in this community communicating with our people and feeling that they are lawless and they can say whatever they want in this country and not be held accountable. Thank you so much, Commissioner.
Ooh, honey child. These guys in Parliament are so idiotic. Zeus, shh. Listen, using parliamentary privilege, asking the Commissioner of Police questions about why I've not been prosecuted for using profanity. Is this really coming from John Seymour? Sloppy, drunken John Seymour, who needs to stop hanging out at Everglow Bar, where he has to be dragged out and held up on a regular basis? Wah. John, you should be prosecuted for all the money that you owe people. Your refusal to pay pension to your workers for years, being in arrears for years and refusing to pay that. That's what you need to be asking the police about, because that, unlike the use of profanity, is an actual offense. You see how this government, Chris Saunders, John, stood up in front of the police commissioner, and trust me, tomorrow's show gonna be lit. They gonna hear a few profane words, all right. Trying to control the public narrative because they think that they can take pot shots at me and come at me. Don't worry about it, little boys. Okay? I have very thick skin and I have on very thick armor. Wouldn't be the first time the police have come at me, and I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be the last time. And guess what? They have a pretty poor winning streak, if you ask me. Very, very poor, right? If the police commissioner believes that a crime has been committed, he is free to investigate all he wants. No one has been investigated more in the Cayman Islands or questioned more in the Cayman Islands than me. And I still stand here, and I still stand in my truth, and I still stand able to tell you all the truth. And that's what you don't like, Chris Saunders. You must forget I know where some of your bones are buried. So you better go sit down. John, everybody know where your bones are buried. None of them, not no secrets. So you should take a seat right next to Chris Saunders in the little kitty corner, in the naughty corner. Profanity? Really, dude? Are you serious right now? You a man who's assaulted somebody else, right? Want to talk about breaching COVID rules, having your wife breach COVID rules, thinking that you're always above the law. You're worried about me popping off a few curse words? You're not fooling nobody, pretending to be some little Christian saint boy. Please, you're the biggest devil sitting up in church next to some others right there in Parliament. Go and sit down. You're silly. Silly season has really started early. And you know what? You're not coming for me today, Bobo. Not today, not tomorrow, not the day after, and definitely not in 2025. I'm coming for you. You're the one who's put yourself out there for political office. You're the one who has to be held to a higher standard. If you don't want to listen to the airwaves, and for the record, none of that happens on the airwaves. Both you and Chris Saunders seem to be a little bit confused. What I do on social media isn't the airwaves. Off-reg will take care of that, and they will do their job. Don't worry about that. But y'all want to silence people. You want to usurp people's ability to keep you in check and to tell you all the truth. Well, it's not going to happen on my watch. You can come at me all you want, but I got my gloves on, brother. So you get ready, because I'm coming. Get your water ready. Get your tea ready.
Sandra all the time is here with the cold hard truth. She's the ears and the eyes for me and you. Every day, everyone want to hear from Sandra. And every time on the air, she's getting better. Tell your sister, tell your brother, tell your mama to call Sandra in the morning and in the evening. They always calling Sandra. And when they start fighting, they calling Sandra. And they start robbing, they calling Sandra. And if the rooster fly in the kitchen, they calling Sandra. And when they want to get the money, they calling Sandra. And even when they lose their honey, they calling Sandra. Every day, everyone wanna hear from Sandra. And all the time on the air, she's getting better. Some people say, honey child, that she's a savior. She's not afraid to say, and she will tell you. Tell your sister, tell your brother, tell your mama to call Sandra in the morning and in the evening. They always calling Sandra. Tell your brother, tell your father, tell your mama to call Sandra in the morning, in the evening. They always calling Sandra. Politicians start fighting, calling Sandra. And when they start the bad parking, they calling Sandra. Landlord and tenant dispute, they calling Sandra. And all the problem with the youth, they calling Sandra. Honey child. When they owe you plenty money, they call in Sandra. And they run away with your honey, they call in Sandra. Every accident around, they call in Sandra. And if your dog can't be found, they call in Sandra. And the news from overseas, they call in Sandra.